first, I want to say a word about what's in the news today. And it's because there have been a lot of inaccuracies, as Congressman Cummings made clear this morning. We are all accountable to the American people to get the facts right, and I will do my part.
The former Secretary of State says she has done nothing wrong. But inspectors generals have asked the Department of Justice to open a criminal investigation into Hillary Clinton's handling of her emails. Welcome back to Hardline, here to talk about Clinton correspondences in possible crimes. We emailed top guest Ian Tuttle, a Buckley Fellow from the National Review Institute, and Sarah Westwood, investigative reporter from the Washington Examiner. And first of all, let the record show we use the official Newsmax account. So happy Friday to you both. Thanks so much for joining us here on The Political Animal. Ian, should and will new Attorney General Loretta Lynch launch a criminal investigation? What do you think?
Should, yes. Will, no.
Okay.
That's about as simple as I can put it. Even if you go back to the original press conference that Secretary Clinton gave at the UN, when was that? March. I think this is the first time since then that she's even addressed any of this. We saw in hours claims that she was making were debunked. Within days, we knew that classified material was on those emails. There are just far too many questions to allow this to slide. If we had a responsible Department of Justice, it would be working in the interests of American security and the transparency of the American government. But we don't have that kind of Department of Justice. We have one that's highly politicized. So while they should do an investigation, it's not going to happen.
All right. Well, Sarah, let's follow up on Ian's prediction. If she doesn't launch this investigation, will it look like politics as usual?
Right. He's absolutely right that the Department of Justice has been highly politicized and that it's unlikely to open a criminal investigation into Hillary Clinton just because she's running for president. She's the Democratic Party standard bearer, and it would be quite the media show if they did open an investigation into her emails. There are way too many questions for something not to be up here. If there was nothing to hide, there would be no reason for her not to hand over the server and to just put all these questions to bed. It would be a simple way for her campaign to make this go away. But there's a reason they haven't handed over the server. There's a reason they haven't answered any of these questions, and that they've chosen to lie in ways that are easily proven false and just take the hit rather than come clean.
Well, Ian, can the Clinton campaign survive this scandal? I mean, we've seen polls showing voters don't trust Hillary Clinton, but is this specific issue going to resonate with voters? I mean, we're still 16 months away from people voting in the general election.
Right. So my very preliminary thoughts on this are, first of all, the Clinton campaign is the only viable campaign on the left. So the question is, when you get to a general election, let's say there's that nothing catastrophic happens, and this wouldn't be it, but let's say nothing catastrophic happens. We have a Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton. That all sounds, more than likely. The question is less: is there going to be a massive turn? I think than are people simply not going to come out. I think that's the Democrats' major problem: is that Hillary Clinton has no natural, excited constituency. The left has largely, and probably will have to largely settle for her. And there might be a lot of people who say, I'm just not that excited. I'm not sufficiently excited to wake up in that Tuesday in November and rush to the polls. That's the key problem.
Well, Sarah, I'm going to push back a little bit of what Ian was saying, because I kind of feel like maybe Joe Biden, he's been kind of waiting around to jump in. Maybe like something like this would happen before making a decision. Do you think now that maybe the VP gets in the race?
Well, if the Vice President Joe Biden did get in the race, he would certainly have some space to do well and to gain a lead on Hillary Clinton. He has the name recognition, he has the support, and he's emerging from a terrible tragedy, so he's a very sympathetic character. there's an opportunity for him if he does get in the race. Whether he will, that's a different story. Obviously, a lot of viable Democrats have chosen not to get in the race rather than cross the Clintons. That's something that Joe Biden might opt out of. We don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see.
Candidate grabbing the headlines on the Republican side, Donald Trump. The visit to Texas, quick, just 3 hours, but once again, he put the immigration issue at the forefront. Ian, what did you think of the visit?
Well, it's all optics. Look, Donald Trump is his whole political strategy, if you want to call it that, is his personal flamboyance. And so he has capitalized on an issue that he knows is working for him. That's not to say that the issue is not important and that other candidates couldn't be learning something about the type of response that it's getting, but Donald Trump is perhaps the worst possible messenger for a potentially important message.
Sarah, 30 seconds. He talked to a few Border Patrol agents, said he would give them more leeway to do their jobs. He really didn't offer a lot of specifics. Do we need to hear more specifics from Donald Trump right now?
I suppose we would if we were going to regard him as a legitimate candidate. I don't know how many people actually do. I think my personal favorite part of the visit was his hat that said, "Make America Great Again." But there's just a media circus around everything he does, and that continued when he went to the border.
You know what? I haven't checked eBay, haven't checked the Trump site, but I got to think he's selling those things, right? He's just a natural businessman, and I know a lot of people would probably buy him as well. All right, Sarah Westwood, Ian Tuttle, thank you so much. Always great to hear from you guys, provide such fabulous insight, and happy Friday, happy weekend. Hope you guys have a great time the next couple of days. And when the hardline continues, Pope Francis's approval ratings struggling in the United States. You're watching Hardline here on Newsmax TV.